guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be doing a story time about me being 17 and pregnant. So I got me a little notebook right here so I can stay in order because I want to give y'all all the details. So I'm going to start with giving y'all a little background about me and like telling y'all how we met and shit. So stuff. So anyway, when I was 17 years old, I ran away from home because I had a really strict parent, and like I just wanted a little freedom. I just felt like at 17 I wasn't getting enough, like I felt like I wasn't getting enough freedom. Honestly, I didn't need the freedom because obviously I got pregnant. But I met my baby daddy, I want to say through my cousin. Like he used to hang out with my cousin, but I never, like when they was hanging out, I never really talked to him or none of that. So like I knew him from him hanging out with my cousin, but like I guess that's how we met or whatever. But like when we first said something to each other, or when he first said something to me, like me and my cousin used to do this thing where like our parents used to go out on the weekends. Like her mama, my mama, my aunties and stuff, they used to go out on the weekends. So me and her would just like, ask them for money. We would walk to the gas station, get some snacks, and like have a movie night, a girls night. We would talk, like we would kick it. So anyway, they doing the, like this was the usual, okay? It's the weekend, they about to go out. We go and ask our parents for some money. We like, okay, we gonna walk to the store. So boom, we walk to the store, and when we get there, like, I see him, like he looking at me, I'm looking at him. Whatever, we paying for our snacks. Yeah, it was so embarrassing because I was a little embarrassed. Not so embarrassing. I was a little embarrassed because she had $20. I had $20. How was we still short $1? Like, how was we still short $1? Anyway, we were short $1 and some change, and he ends up like, I'll pay it for y'all, whatever. Okay, cool. So, he pays a little dollar, whatever. We walk out the door. We walking back to the house or whatever. He like, when he comes out the door, whatever, like, we a little bit up the street or whatever, and he like, I'll take y'all home. I look at my cousin, she look at me, I'm like, okay, you can take us home. So, we gets back, like, the store wasn't that far from the house, so we really didn't need to get in the car. We just did, because shit, what else was it to do? So, anyway, he drops us back off at the house, and he like, can I get your number or whatever? I'm like, might as well. So anywho, I give him my number. We go back in the house or whatever. My cousin like, you think he cute? Whatever. I'm like, he cool. Whatever. So fast forward, whatever, a couple days go past, whatever, like me and him talking and we texting and stuff. And like he had asked to pull up. So I'm like, yeah, you can pull up, but you gotta wait till my mama go to sleep, because she's not gonna let me come outside and sit with you. Like, come on now. So anyway, my mama goes to sleep. He pulls up or whatever, and I go outside. We chilling or whatever. He's smoking, y'all. I had never ever smoked, ever. So he's smoking, and I asked, like, let me try it, cause I don't know, y'all. I was just doing stuff. I'm 17. I'm young. I'm dumb. I'm just going on with the going on. So anyway, like, it's like the story is a whole lot, y'all. So I gotta give y'all more details. So I was in a relationship with a girl. I was dating this girl, but like at the time, like when I had started talking to him, me and her was like breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together. Like it was real crazy, like, because both of them are older than me. So I'm feeling like, I left home because I didn't want nobody to have that type of control over me. And now I done got out. I'm dealing with, people that are way older than me, and they still feeling like they need that control. So like me and her was just having problems or whatever. So anyway, I chilled with him that night. He came back the next night, y'all. Why he come back the next night and I did it with this man? Like, why would I do that? Hold on. Okay, y'all, I'm back. So, anywho, so the next night he came back, y'all, I did it with him. Like, I don't know why. Like, I guess, I don't know. Like, I was just doing stuff. literally trying to, like, I felt like I was trying to feel any, like, do anything to fill a void. Like, something was missing and I didn't know what was missing. Like, so, anywho, moving on. So, anyway, I did it with him. I felt really bad. I felt real bad. So, I end up telling the, like, anyway, I started feeling like, I immediately went in and took a shower. So, I immediately started feeling bad. Like, I cried. I did it with this man and I cried. Why would I do that? So, anywho, fast forward like a week or two, I started feeling really, really sick. Like, real sick. So, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, my mama was like, you got the flu, you got the flu, you got the flu. So, I'm like, oh, shit, I may have the flu. So, I'm like, okay, you know, I'm gonna start feeling better in a couple weeks or whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna go get you some medicine, whatever. So, anyway, y'all, a couple more weeks go past. Like, 2 more weeks go past. I'm feeling even sicker. I'm feeling even worse. Like, it's, like, horrible. So, mama like, are you pregnant? I'm like, I'm gay. Like, how am I gonna be pregnant? She was like, girl, I'm just asking or whatever. So she like, you know what? I'm gonna have you take a pregnancy test anyway. I'm like, okay. So anyway, my mama go get the pregnancy test and like I take it. I take the pregnancy test and it comes back negative or whatever. I feel like my mama had did it wrong, honestly, because I actually was pregnant, but I feel like she did it wrong and that's why it had came back negative, because she was like, I ain't did this so long. How much pee you supposed to put on here? How you supposed to, you know? I'm like, I don't know. I've never taken one. I don't even, you know, I don't know. So, anywho. Okay, let me figure out where I'm going. Okay, so, anywho. A couple weeks go by, whatever, and I end up telling the girl, like, hey, I think I'm pregnant. She like, what? How you think you pregnant and we supposed to be in a relationship? You got the same thing I got. How you think you pregnant? I can't get you pregnant. What the you been doing? Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you know, we had broke up or whatever, you know, and I had met this dude and, you know, I end up doing it with this dude. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, you know, I really want to be with you. I'm like, I'm like, if I am pregnant, we can raise the baby together. Like, I'm like, ugh, like, I really messed up. So, like, she didn't talk to me for, like, 2 weeks, y'all. And I told him, like, you know, it's a possibility I could be pregnant. He was like, okay, just let me know, whatever. So, fast forward or whatever, you know, my mama think I'm not pregnant or whatever. So, she had ended up leaving with my aunties going somewhere. And, like, they are the type that when they leave, they be gone for hours, y'all. Hours. They be gone for a really long time. Like, so I already knew, like, if I was going to go find out, like, you know, I had a couple hours to figure it out. So, I ended up searching, like, where's the nearest clinic near me or whatever. And it was literally one in walking distance. Like, so the store that I had met him at, literally, the next thing over was a place where I could, you know, check to see if I was pregnant. So I went there. The lady was really, really nice, y'all. She was super nice, super sweet. She was like, you know, what you here for? I'm like, a pregnancy test. And she was like, how old are you? I'm like, 17. She was like, you don't got no ID or nothing? I'm like, no. But I'm like, I really need to figure out if I'm pregnant. I'm like, because, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do, whatever. She was like, you don't have nothing with your name on it? And I'm like, no, I don't have nothing. Y'all, that's a whole total different situation. I'm not even gonna get into why I didn't have no ID or anything, but like I had nothing to prove like I am who I am. So she was like, she was the only one working that day, so she was like, you know what, I'm gonna take you. She was like, are you trying to be seen today? I was like, yes. She was like, okay, fill this out to the best, you know, the best of your knowledge or whatever. So I filled it out. She put the stuff in. She ended up doing the pregnancy test. She takes me back to this room. She's talking to me like, you know, if you're pregnant, what do you plan on doing? I'm like, I don't know. She was like, is abortion an option? I'm like, I feel like I'm too young to have a baby. What I'm going to do with a baby, you know? I'm out here figuring it out day by day. Like, what am I going to do with a baby? So, she like, well, God is, da 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 da. I'm like, girl, I'm not trying to hear that. I'm trying to, like, let me know what's going on with me. So, y'all, she ends up, you know, she brings the thing and she was like, congratulations, you're pregnant. I'm like, congratulations? I'm pregnant? what? No, 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 no. I'm like, no, I can't be pregnant, y'all. I'm hyperventilating. I'm like, please do the test again. Please do the test again. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. It was a way. Anyway, I'm like, please do the test again, y'all. Politely, she did the test for me 2 more times. And the last 2 times, she was like, I'm going to do it right in front of you or whatever. And the 3rd time, she was like, this is my last time, because she was like, I'm not even supposed to do that many, but I could see, like, you really in distress. She was like, the lady was really, really cool. Like, so anyway, she was like, go home, tell your mom, you know, I'm sure y'all can figure something out or whatever. She was like, you're young, you're not going to have all the answers, you make mistakes or whatever. She gave me a really good speech or whatever, but it wasn't good enough for me to go home and tell my mama now. Like, So I walk home, y'all. I'm walking home. It's 1,000 things running through my head. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. How am I about to look this lady in her face and be like, I'm pregnant at 17 years old? What? So, y'all, I get home. I fold the papers up. She gave me some papers with, like, my estimated due date off of, you know, when my last menstrual period was and stuff. And I folded them papers up. My cousin had a bed, so it's a box spring, it's a mattress. I folded the papers up as small as they could go, lifted that mattress up, and put them under there. I'm like, she ain't gonna come in here looking between no box. Like, she not gonna suspect nothing. I'm gonna hide this paper so she really don't suspect nothing. So, y'all, she comes home. I end up telling my cousin. I'm like, cousin, I'm pregnant. She was like, you gonna tell your mom? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, but don't tell nobody. You know, let me do it, please. She was like, okay, I'm not gonna say nothing. Y'all, my mama come home like, she just like, my mama is really dramatic. Like, super dramatic, super loud, all that. But, like, I don't know. This day, she was just being too nice. Like, she was being super nice, super loving, super caring. Like, she was just, I don't know, y'all. It was a whole lot. So, she coming in there like, daughter, you feeling better? I love you. I got you this medicine. You know, get up. Let's try to eat something. Why my dumb self look her in her face like, mama, I need to talk to you. Can you come in here? She like, hi, what's wrong? I'm like, can you just come in here and shut the door? Like, I need to tell you something. So she sat down. I'm like, please don't be mad at me or whatever. She was like, hi, what's going on? Spit it out. Tell me what's going on. I'm like, I'm pregnant. She said, what? She started laughing. She like, stop playing. I said, mama, I'm serious. I'm pregnant. She said, how do you get pregnant? She said, Kaisha, you lying. Because, like, me and her joke around a lot. She's like, Kaisha, you lying. Like, stop playing. She was like, if you pregnant, I said, I went to the clinic, I found out or whatever. She said, if you went to the clinic, they would have gave you some paperwork showing, proving that you pregnant. Where the paperwork? I said, stand up. I lifted the mattress up. Y'all got the paperwork out. I folded the paperwork, gave her the paperwork. She said, oh, my God. It started crying. She crying, I'm crying, like, I just knew I messed up. Like, I messed up big. What I'm gonna do? Like, anywho, I specifically told this lady, I said, mama, please don't tell nobody. Let me tell them. Like, let me figure out what I'm gonna do. She's like, what you mean? What you gonna do? You gonna have that baby? We don't believe in abortions around here. Well, I guess that's what I'm doing then. I'm gonna have the baby. That's it. So, let me see. Okay, so fast forward, she ended up telling my aunties anyway after I told her not to. My auntie like, Kaisha, you pregnant? I say, yeah. She like, by who? And keep in mind, she says this in front of, like, we're in the living room. All my cousins, a lot of my cousins are in the living room. A lot of my other aunties is in the living room. Like, everybody's just there. Nobody know. Well, I thought didn't nobody know. Only people that knew was me and my cousin that I told when I had got back from the clinic or whatever. Now everybody know. She like, who you pregnant by? I'm like, my cousin Fred. He like, who? I'm like, Bernie. He said, what? I didn't even know y'all was messing around. I didn't know y'all was talking. I just put my head down and walked back in the room because I was so embarrassed. Y'all, like, why would you go tell everybody my business? So, anywho, fast forward, me and my girlfriend at the time, like, we end up getting back together and we end up moving into this apartment. And, you know, I had basically told him, like, me and her gonna take care of the baby. Don't worry about it. And he was like, okay. So I'm thinking that's what it is. That's what it's gonna be. So me and the girl, we end up moving into the apartment. And you know, my first, like, she ended up coming with me to my doctor's appointment. She was a good support, like, when she wanted to be. Like, my first trimester, it was easy, y'all. I didn't throw up. I didn't, like, it was easy. Like, I didn't even know I was pregnant, y'all, for real, because it was so easy. So, you know, I want to say around May, me and the girl end up breaking up and being done or whatever. And me and him had started back, like, talking or whatever. You know, he ended up starting to come back to my doctor's appointment. I was back and forth between him and my mom. Like, their houses. I was back and forth between their houses. And my second trimester, you know, we ended up finding out what we was having. And it was a boy. I did not want a boy, y'all. I wanted a girl so bad. But honestly, looking back on it, I really didn't need no girl. I wouldn't have knew what to do with a girl. She would have been I didn't need no girl. And my second trimester, I want to say it was easy. I feel like my baby dad got all of the symptoms. Like, he threw up every morning. He used to like at night, like, he used to have these I don't know, like, hot sweats or cold sweats, whatever they are. Like, at night he's sweating. And I feel like the only thing that changed about me really was, like, my stomach, because I was super skinny. I'm going to insert some pictures. I was super skinny before I got pregnant, and, like, even in the beginning, I was still super skinny with a stomach now. And yeah, like, he got all my symptoms. Like, only time I ever threw up is if I ate eggs. I could not eat eggs. Scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, hard eggs, soft eggs. It didn't matter. I could not eat no egg. Every time I smelled the egg, I threw up. So that was the only thing. Other than my pregnancy was really easy. Like, it was really the easiest pregnancy I had. I got 4 kids now. The easiest pregnancy I had. So going into my third trimester, he got heavier, whatever, but still easy. Whole pregnancy was easy. But it was some drama with me and my baby dad. Basically, when I had ended up finding out, like, you know, he had been in a relationship, y'all, with a girl for 5 years. Like, that's a long time to be with somebody, and, like, to get with somebody else and to have a baby. Like, that's crazy. I never knew about her. I didn't end up finding out about her until I want to say I'm halfway through my pregnancy. I do remember him mentioning, when I first met him, he told me he had just got out of a 5-year relationship. 17-year-old me didn't understand that meant that they could possibly have been talking, still having something going on, any of that. That totally didn't even cross my mind at all. So I want to say, when we had ended up finding, like, a couple weeks before I had found out what I was having, so I want to say the end of May, maybe the beginning of June, I was spending the night with him one night, and like, a girl kept calling his, like, obviously it was a girl because her name was saved. It was a girl's name. A girl kept calling. So, you know, we hadn't made anything official at this point, so, like, I wasn't gonna answer his phone. But I did wake him up, like, who's this girl calling your phone? Like, I'm just curious. Who is she? He was like, that's my ex. You know, we was together for 5 years, whatever. I'm like, so why is she calling your phone? I said, and she's calling back to back. Answer and see what she want. Or whatever. And he did just that. He answered that phone. So he answered the phone or whatever. And I don't know. Like, he answered the phone. He got up. He stepped out the room. Why are you stepping out the room on the phone with your ex? I didn't even follow him because, like, this is my first serious situationship. Like, I want to say me and the girl was serious, but me and this dude got a baby on the way. So this is real serious. So he goes out, he talks to her, he comes back in, he's like, get up and get dressed. I'm like, wow, why am I getting up and getting dressed? He like, my ex is coming over here. Coming over here for what? He like, I'm about to take you home. I'm like, so I'm confused. I'm like, you just telling me to get up, get dressed, like I'm about to leave? Like, are y'all together? What is going on? He like, yeah, we together. I've been at this man's house. Y'all, I had been at his house off and on for that whole month of May. Like, after me and the girl had broke up, I had been at his house off and on. And, like, when I came to spend the night, I'm spending the night for days at a time before I'm going back home. Sometimes, one night time I had even spent the whole week there before I had came back home. So, I'm like, y'all together, and I feel played. So the first thing I did, I called my cousin. I'm like, girl, this man just told me like he in a relationship with her, like he making me get dressed. I'm like, he's making me leave. My cousin had experience with relationships. I didn't. So I didn't even know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I'm sitting at the table or whatever, eating or whatever. I'm sitting at the table eating when she came in. And I'm on the phone with my cousin. Like, I just feel like, you know, if he didn't want to be with me, like, he could have just said that or whatever. But, like, how was he going to say that? It never even came up in a conversation, honestly. So, anyway, my cousin, like, was she there? And, like, you got to know my cousin. She's not going to mess around. And I had her on speakerphone because I want y'all to hear everything she's saying. I want y'all to know if y'all put your hands on me, she's coming over here. And it's going to be like that. So, anyway, the girl comes in. She walks right past me. She goes in the room or whatever. And she's not no ugly girl, y'all. She was really beautiful. Got to give her flowers or whatever. But, you know, he like, okay, you ready? Or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I guess or whatever. And, like, we get in the car. I don't know. Basically, we started arguing. Me and him started arguing. I don't even know how we started arguing. I'm on the phone talking to my cousin. I'm just like, I just think it's funny how, like, she comes and he's making me go home or whatever. So, we driving in the car. She's taking me back home or whatever. I don't, like, it was just so weird, y'all, because, like, did she, like, I don't know if she ever asked questions like, who is this girl? Like, if I walk in my man's house and there's another girl here, who is she? Why is she here? What's going on? She never asked none of those questions. Like, she just was like, you know, he came. She was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It was just real weird. So, anyway, we in the car. We driving. She about to take me home or whatever. So, me and him started arguing. I don't even remember how we started arguing. But, basically, I was just like, tell her how we was just getting it on. Tell her how we was just doing a little yeah. Like, tell her. She was like, y'all had... He didn't say anything. I said, yeah, we had... My cousin on the phone hyping me up, y'all. Y'all, this lady is driving. Mid-drive, she stops and she's like, pop! Cracked him smooth. She cracked him so hard, I shut it up because, damn, you hit him hard. Got him. And, like, she's pulling back to hit him again. She hits him again or whatever. He grabbed her arm or whatever. She's a cold one because she was driving and doing that. And I drive now. I wouldn't be able to do that. So, I'm like, she had ended up pulling over, like, get out my car. I'm like, I'm not getting out of nothing. He gonna take me back where he got me from. Like, I'm not getting out of nobody's car. I'm pregnant. I'm not about to walk nowhere. I'm already in the car. He gonna take me back where he got me from. So, anyway, she ended up still driving. She ends up dropping me off or whatever. They end up pulling off. He ends up texting me like, I can't talk to you until the baby born. I was so sad. Like, y'all just gonna, like, after she found that out, y'all just gonna get back together happily ever after. And I'm over here lonely, going through my pregnancy alone. Like, but I don't know. It didn't last long. He ended up texting me like 2 weeks later. Like, you know, he wanted to try to be with me this time and make it work. And here go my dumb self. Okay, come pick me up. Like, why would I should have been like, no, sir. I should have left him right there. Now I got 2 kids by him. Like, that's crazy. So, anywho, it was just a lot of drama. Like, I remember one time, like, we had went to Arkansas. Me and him had went to Arkansas. But originally, he was supposed to go with her. He ended up going with me like, he embarrassed me, y'all, during my pregnancy. Like, I really started hating him and resenting him. But clearly, I didn't hate him too much. What else can I tell y'all? I want to say, okay, let me talk about my labor and delivery. My labor, them contractions. Okay, so originally I was due November 20th. And I end up, like, I don't know, my body started contractions. I thought it was Braxton Hicks contractions, but they was just way too strong and they were lasting way too long to be Braxton Hicks. And so basically I had ended up finding out, you know, I was in labor. I had started losing my mucus plug. I was in labor for like 2 days. Because from the day that I actually started having those bad contractions, I ended up having him 2 days later. So the first time I had him, I was in the middle of intercourse. And I just started having this really bad pain, like tightening up. I'm like, oh, get off of me. It hurt. He like, what? I'm like, by the time he had got off of me, it had went away. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I I just, like, my stomach was just tightening up real bad. I don't know what it was, because I had never experienced it before. Like, I had experienced cramping, but, like, I feel like I could take it. Versus what I had felt right then, it was nothing to play with. So, he like, okay, you know, let's not keep going or whatever, because, you know, I don't want nothing to happen to my baby. So, I'm like, okay. You know, we laying down, we talking. The pain happens again. I'm like, I grab his hand this time. I'm like, feel it, feel it. I'm like, oh. He's like, you having contractions. He had a sister that had kids, so I'm guessing he knew what it was. He's like, oh yeah, you having a contraction or whatever. I'm like, oh my goodness, what that mean? He's like, that means the baby about to come. I'm like, tonight? The baby about to come tonight? He like, no. But he was like, eventually, you know, the baby gonna come. This is what makes the baby come. So boom, I contracted like for a couple hours that night. I'm not knowing, like, once I get to a certain amount, like, I gotta go to the hospital. I didn't know that until I ended up having to talk with my mama a couple days later, and, like, me and her is face to face. So once I started having a contraction, I told her what I was feeling, and I let her feel my stomach. She said, oh baby, he trying to come. He ain't standing there till November 20th. It was so crazy, y'all. My baby shower was in a few days. Like, my baby shower was that next day. So boom, the next day I had my baby shower. My auntie threw my baby shower. It was real nice and fun. I mean, I'm good, y'all. I'm gonna insert pictures throughout this video. So it was real fun or whatever. Boom, right after the baby shower, I'm contracting even more, y'all. It's getting, like, a couple more days go by, it's getting worse and worse. I'm losing my milk. So I had went to a car dealership with my dad, and I was like, you know, I had went to the bathroom, and I had this, like, this big gump of something, you're like, in the seat of my underwear. So it's TMI, but I didn't know what it was. Like, my body is doing things it's never done before. So I walked up to the lady. She was a really nice lady. I'm like, I don't want to say this to my daddy, but I also don't want to just keep waiting for him to buy this car and I end up having my baby. So I need to figure out what's going on. So I asked, like, I'm like, can you come, like, can I ask you something real quick? I'm like, do you got kids? She was like, yes, I got 5 kids or whatever. Or I don't think she said 5 kids. I'm joking. But anyway, she said she had kids. And I'm like, I got, like, this snotty looking stuff. You know, it came out. She was like, oh baby, that's your mucus plug. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? She's like, that your baby's about to come. I'm like now? She like, no. She said, you're gonna lose some more over the next couple days. Or she said, or shit, you could have them by tonight. She said, it's not really determined. She said, but a sign of you losing your mucus is a sign that the baby is coming. So I'm like, okay, this baby not messing around. Like, he's coming. So boom, that night, y'all, I'm in my auntie's house or whatever. I'm telling my auntie, like, auntie, I can't take the pain no more. I gotta go to the hospital. One of my friends ended up picking me up and taking me to the hospital. And she was like, oh, you're dilated to a 4, so we can't keep you and send me home. So I go home and I go back to my auntie house. And I'm like, huh, like, it's getting worse. I'm like, I'm gonna end up going back or whatever. My auntie like, walk around, do some squats, y'all. The way them contractions was coming, a squat wasn't even possible. So I'm walking around and stuff. I'm walking around in a circle because, like, her house, the way her house was set up, like, you can go from one room into the bathroom, from the bathroom into another room, from that room to the living room, from the living room back into the same room. So it was a big circle. I'm walking. I'm sitting down on the toilet. I keep trying to use the bathroom because I feel like something is trying to come out or whatever. I want to say 2-3 hours had went past. I'm like, I'm going to the hospital. So my other auntie comes. And I'm like, auntie, can you please take me back to the hospital? She said, girl, she said, you just being dramatic, niece. I'm not taking you to the hospital. She said, if you still having contractions at 7 in the morning, I'm going to call the hospital. She said, I'm going to take you to the hospital. I'm like, 7 in the morning? I looked at the time. It's only 3 o'clock. It's only 3 a.m. Oh, you're not going to take me? Do. Yes, can you please send? I said, I think I'm in labor. You know, I'm not going to make it. I think my baby is coming. Y'all, they sent an ambulance and I was in the hospital. Because, baby, I wasn't waiting till no 7 a.m. So I get to the hospital or whatever. They was like, you was just in here, right? I'm like, yeah. So she like, you're dilated to a 4. And then she had checked me again. She was like, oh, you're at a 5. This baby is coming. And I guess the nurse that had sent me home the first time I had went, she had got in trouble because they said she was never supposed to send me home. She was supposed to keep me for an hour to see if, like, my contractions worsened and if I continued to dilate or whatever. So she was never supposed to send me home. So they said she was going to be getting in trouble for that or whatever. And So she ended up, so I, I'm in labor at this point. Call my baby dad. I'm like, hey, I'm in labor. Come up to the hospital. He came up to the hospital, and then my mom and them came up to the hospital that morning. And I want to say around 1, I want to say I had him at like 1 in the afternoon. He ended up coming, my baby boy. His name was Kamarion Jackson. And when I looked at my baby, like, y'all, I was so happy. Like, nothing, I can't even describe the moment. Like, it was the best feeling in the world. Like, that void, like that hole that I felt like I was missing. Like, I felt like he filled it. Nothing else could have made me happier. Like, it was the best. So, like, I feel like I wasn't ready for a baby, but I feel like, I was so childish. First off, I was really childish. I'm out here making decisions just because I'm in my feelings. He changed that for me. Like, he changed me, y'all. I'm 17. I was not in school. I got back in school and was able to graduate on time with my class. Like, he made me look at the world through a whole different eye. I wanted to be better, and I wanted to be better because of him. So, I want to talk about what it is like being, I'm 26 years old. I just turned 26 December 25th. Big Capricorn. Anyway, y'all, being a mama at 17 versus being a mama now, like, I was really young. I was dumb. And I'm not saying I'm not young and dumb now, but I'm way more mature than I was then. I feel like I'm always going to have something to learn about being a mom. I'm always going to, I'm always going to change for my kids. I'm never going to stay in one position. I'm going to keep growing and prospering because I have them. But being a mama at 17, I was really childish. I never, like, the way I consider my kids now, I didn't consider my kids then. I always did. I always was making just decisions based off my emotion. Now, I feel like I got too much to lose to make those type of decisions now, And I feel like because I had a baby so young and I made so many young decisions when I first had him, I feel like I make up for that now. Like, he don't even know. Like, I just do certain things because I feel like, dang, I took you through a lot when you were born because I was so young and dumb and I wasn't ready for a kid. But now, being a mama at 26 years old, like, my kids are my everything. I'm not making no decision. I'm not making, without considering my kids. If I do this, how is it going to affect my kids? Like, I'm not quitting no job just because they didn't piss me off because I still got kids to take care of. Like, I move way different now, being a mama at 26. Like, I'm able to cater to their feelings more. Like, I feel like at 17, I'm like, this baby crying. I can't figure out why he crying. But now I'm like, I'm able to sit down like, hey, calm down, take a deep breath, use your words, tell me what's going on, why are you upset, why are you crying? Like, I just feel like I'm way more mature, so I move way different being a mom. I want to say, so when I first decided I was pregnant, me and my baby daddy had talked about him not being in the baby's life and then me raising the baby with a girl. But I just knew, like, I'm keeping my baby. Like, I'm happier now that I'm pregnant with him. Like, I feel like whatever I'm missing, he's going to feel that for me. And, at the time, I didn't realize, like, when I finally talked to him, he was like, I don't want to not be in the baby's life. I want to be in the baby's life. I want to be a daddy to the baby. He was like, I'm sad. I'm depressed. I'm going through a lot, And I feel like a baby will make me happy. And I feel like that was our first wrong decision, having a kid. Like, we had a kid to fill voids that wasn't his to fill. We had a kid, like, trying to make him the sole purpose of our happiness. We should have, taken care of the trauma that we were going through. We should have figured out the root of our depression, before we brought a kid into this world, because that's why we made so many bad decisions, because we weren't happy before, he came. Like, of course he made us happy, but we still fighting the things that we were fighting before he even got here. So, I feel like, y'all, please ignore the bumping. My kids is in the other room playing. So, I feel like, like, don't just become a young parent because you feel like you need a baby, because you see somebody else with a baby, or you feel like a baby is going to fill a void. If you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling sad, you need to, I'm sorry. You need to take care of that before bringing a baby into this world. I ended up going back to school. Y'all, I told y'all I ended up going back to school, graduating with my class. It was so hard being in school and being a mom. I'm not gonna cap. Like, that was super hard, but I got it done and I did it. If I could give you guys any advice, don't be a mom at 17, 16, 14, 15. Do not be a mom that young. Go out and live your life. Like, if you feel like you're missing something, go out of town. Go, you know, try to build a career. Like, that's the best advice I can give you. Build a career. Live your life. It's so many opportunities out here in the world. It's so much that we can do before we bring kids into this world. It's so much that we need to have established before we bring kids into the world. And not to mention, you could have the kid with the wrong person. You could do that as an adult, but you know better as an adult. You could tell, as an adult, I could see, like, when I meet somebody, I notice the red flags. I separate myself from that. At 17 years old, the red flags was like, oh my goodness, I'm intrigued. Why was it like that? I don't know. So, like I said, the best advice I can give y'all is, if you have a choice to have a baby young, don't do it. Go out here and live your life, and so that when you decide to have a kid, one is with the right person, and one, you're bringing them into a stable home with love and kindness. That's the best advice I can give y'all. And that is the end of my story time. If you have any questions, just let me know. Bye.